Getting to work with this amazing woman, and this is her picture from when was this picture taken?
7 years ago.
7 years ago, you were a consultant. Okay, so Christy is the queen of her success night in Chicago. Wow. And Christy had an amazing, amazing month and a big mind shift. I can't say that. Mind shift. And a big turnaround in her business. So I asked her to speak. But before she speaks, she asked me to read the post that she wrote yesterday. And I didn't read this yet. This was the Christy in Chicago about to fight a custody battle after Tom and her life had moved to Florida. This was the Christy that had just started on public aid and was about to lose her house and car to bankruptcy. This was the Christy that didn't know soon she'd be forced to live with her mom to fight that custody battle. She didn't know how important that time living with her mom was because she would pass away 2 years later. She didn't know how close her relationship was about to get with God. We just never know what's ahead and what God has in his plan. Always smile and wear that tiara. Know that you are wonderfully made in his name. Amen. I love these reminders of how far I've come in the last 7 years. I'm no longer in debt or on public aid. I have my son with me. I got to have some powerful conversations with Mom before she passed and loved the relationship we had. I see her nurturing spirit in me often. I drive free cars and have bought a beautiful home with my new husband. I have amazing people surround me that celebrate me. I help others earn their tiaras now. I help others turn a negative into a positive. Always fight for what you know is right and never give up on your little girl dreams. You will see me wearing that tiara on the seminar stage.
Amen.
Thank you, Mary Kay, for such an incredible opportunity and changing my life. Not just in my paycheck for the bills, but my paychecks of the heart. Please welcome future queen of recruiting at the Sapphire Seminar.
Wow, I have a what do they call that? A dog pound? Dog pound. It's a dog pound.
Okay.
I'm like Arsenio Hall. That's exciting. So I really felt it was important to share that because it's such an important part of what I've become today, because I feel like a lot of you only know me today. Like many of you didn't even know when I first moved here to Florida, which was 7 years ago. And I was a red jacket. I had just earned my red jacket with 3 team members, and we knew nobody here. And so the first year, I really struggled to just figure out what to do. Plus my mom was sick and I was fighting the custody battle and all of that. And my husband and I had this conversation in Pollo Tropical one day. And he looked at me and said, Mary Kay needs to start making us some money or you're gonna have to go out and find a job. Because he met me a month after I lost my corporate job. Now I've been in Mary Kay for 12 years. Wow. And I had already had my business as a savvy shopper, okay? And but I knew the potential. I had been to enough conferences to know there's more women making over 6 figures in this company than anywhere else. So why would I let somebody else determine if I keep my job or not, right? And so he met me a month after I lost my job, and I was Christy Dolan at the time, and I was going to become a sales director and earn a free car. And he was really impressed with that, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was looking really busy, doing a whole lot of nothing. Within the first year, I had gotten it paying for itself, but I was yet to make any money. And that's when we decided to blend our families, and he was quickly offered a job here, and we moved to another state, right? So just to catch you up to where I was with this mind shift, at Pollo Tropical, I told him that, Mary Kay Ash lived her life in the order of God first, family second, career third, and we're really not doing that. And I think we should pray. And that was really foreign for us because we had a faith, but it was very lukewarm. If we got up in time to go to church, we went. If we stayed up too late the night before, we didn't, and it was okay. And he was on board. He said absolutely, and we prayed, and it was foreign for us to do that. But within 3 weeks, I was introduced to Allison Carter. And Allison Carter gave me the math. Like, she told me how many faces I needed to wash, how many people I need to share the opportunity with. You need to be sharing the opportunity with one person every day, if not multiples. That will finish you February 29th. And becoming passionate about it, right? But I will say with that, I learned a lot within that year, because less than 5 months after meeting her, I became a sales director and earned my first free car. And then within 18 months, I earned all 3-level cars. And that's what people were seeing. But I was under a leadership that was not the Mary Kay way.
Not Allison.
Not Allison. Yeah, thank you. No, it wasn't Allison. And what I love about our company is that they recognize that, and they watch, and they stop it. Okay? But within that time, I had learned a lot of great things about myself. It brought me closer to God. It gave me the math that I needed, right? But it also taught me some things that are not right. And so when I earned that Cadillac, I invested more than I should have. And I had that Barbara Sundin voice in my head going, you didn't really earn this. You didn't earn it. In the first month we were in it, we didn't make production. And what I didn't realize, because I had literally earned the other 2 cars, but this I invested to get to that level, because I was made to feel that that's where you need to be. If you want to be anything in Mary Kay, you need to be in a pink Cadillac. And so I made it happen. And I thought, $900 payment, that's every quarter? That's only $300 a month. So I can do that. That's no big deal, even if I miss production. It's $900 a month.
Yeah. I was like, wait.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So that was a lesson right off the bat, okay? I'm making a payment before I'm even in the car. It takes you like 4 months. Yeah. So my mental state, and right as I earned it, that mentor was taken from the company and sued. And so that kind of rocked my world. That rocked my trust in national sales directors. And please, don't ask me questions about this, because I won't give it my energy anymore.
Amen.
I won't have the conversations about it anymore. But I learned a lot, and what I did in that moment was I leaned into Mary Kay Ash, because she was the one person I knew I could trust. And so I woke up every day reading her words. And thank you, honey. And just having the faith that if I stick to the math and I read Mary Kay Ash's words, that I am a Cadillac director. I'm still a Cadillac director driving a Traverse outside right now. But one thing I can guarantee is when you see me in the Cadillac next time, I will not be making a car payment. Ever. Okay, so I learned ways of Mary Kay. Okay, I'm already there. Mary Kay words. So shortly after that, I started to say, I need to be back in that sisterhood of directors, okay? But a sisterhood of directors that we're allowed to love each other. We're allowed to talk outside the meeting and love one another and encourage one another. And I heard there was a meeting in Oviedo, and I went, and I was so excited about it. And I started to see greatness again, like people doing it the real way. And I remember one meeting specifically, I was sitting next to Heidi, and Pam, you were training on your Power Start. And I had started to get out of my funk, and I was starting to move up again. Now, I triple start that first year, and the second year, I barely earned my B. If any of you watched my growth, I literally recruited 11 qualifieds in June, and that was in the last 10 days of June, because I started in April, because I decided to go to new director training as a director for 2 years, because I wanted to lean into the Mary Kay way. And so I started my momentum in April, and I did earn my Diamond Bumblebee that year, and I had momentum going, right? But I wasn't seeing 30 faces in 30 days. I have really good averages in my numbers. I don't need to see 30 faces to sell $4,000. I really don't, because I have tons of repair customers. So I lean into Heidi and I go, and I had a really good month. I don't remember what month it was or what had happened, but I said, I only saw 9 faces last month. And she goes, okay, so why don't you see 30? Imagine what you could do with 30. And it took me 3 months, but I eventually got back up to that 30 and beyond, right? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Pam, for also saying, I've run Cadillacs. I've done all these great things without doing a Power Start, and that's exactly what she was saying that day, right? So here I have belief again, okay? I have belief in myself. I have belief in the company, Because you see a lot of these top directors stepping down, and you don't know what's happening, and you don't know, were they cheating, do they just have a different passion, and you just have to remember to tell yourself, read Mary Kay's words and know what her legacy is in this company. And if it's not for somebody else, that doesn't make the company wrong. It doesn't make the company bad. Like, there's a lot of Mary Kay directors, top directors, that left teaching to become Mary Kay directors. That doesn't make teaching bad.
Right.
It just means that teaching wasn't for them, and this is a new form of teaching that they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So, I got back on track and I triple starred again that year. That was last year. And then I went to seminar, and Catherine Longley was our queen of seminar. And she was in her 3rd year of directorship. And her first year she did $500,000. Her second year she did extended trip. And her 3rd year, this last year, she was queen and did $1 million.
Wow.
All years being pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's incredible. And I had to find her. She had to be my friend. Catherine Longley somewhere in here, right? And so I found her, and I asked her, and Strength Finders was one of the biggest things that came out of her mouth. You know, I focused on my unit's strengths this year. And so I took their top 5 strengths and I put it in their contact list, and I talked with them. And then there was a Sean Key call like a week or 2 later with Lisa Madsen that I heard. He's talking about Strength Finders, and I'm like, what is going on with this Strength Finder? I need to do it. And so I did it, and I'm listening to these calls, and in the midst of these calls, Heidi's teaching me about a whisper voice. A whisper voice versus a megaphone voice. Now this is the shift. These are all the things that kind of brought together where I'm at today from July, okay, from July 1st. So a whisper voice versus a megaphone voice is announcing on Facebook that you have a unit meeting, but then calling the people you want there individually and personally inviting them. I've started personally inviting my unit to my meeting every single Monday in the midst of my mentoring calls. And on Mondays and Tuesdays, back-to-back calls with my leaders. Then I heard Thea Elvin's Never Give Up. And if you haven't heard that, I will forward it to you on Voxer. But it's never giving up on, or giving up on giving up, right? And as you wish, what you say, you truly do, what you speak about, you truly do bring about. And whatever that was that Erin was talking about, what's that? Yeah, that. She talks about that. I don't know the word. I don't know how to say that word, but. And I stayed in my lane, because it is really easy to come here and see where you want to be, but you're not there yet.
Yes.
And so knowing that if I just kept doing these things, there's going to be a shift. Because I saw the shift when I started interviewing one person every single day. So I went back to that challenge Allison Carter had given me, right? And Monique, I'm so sad Monique is not here. She really wanted to be here. She's a big part of this too, because I took a power partner that was really going somewhere, okay? And that celebrated me, didn't tolerate me, okay? Yes. And so she gave me the STAR program. I think it was Leah Carter that does the STAR program every week. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna focus on the stars. There were a few things, like just maybe 2 that I was focused on. I was focused on the stars, I was focused on my mentoring, okay? And I have some numbers here. I didn't bring it up. Okay. I went from last year, first quarter having 5 stars, second quarter having 4, third quarter having 5, fourth quarter having 7, okay? And I started keeping STAR in front of them, talking to them about why they want to be a STAR, what it means, helping them earn STAR, not just invest in STAR. We're gonna be at profit level in our unit.
Amen.
And so this year, my first quarter, 11 stars. Second quarter, 13 stars.
Amazing.
Third quarter, I already have 8.
Woo!
Last January, I did $6,530, and I'm not going to tell you what I did this January because you'll find out in the recognition. Stay tuned. All right. So I heard the whisper voice versus the megaphone voice, and I know that to be true because Heidi can say something all day long, but until she looks me in the eye or boxes me personally, I don't hear some things. We have to recognize that, and we have to remember that they are not where we are. And so I need to be a professional reminder, just like our pastors.
Yep.
Every week they remind us why we believe in Jesus, right? Or if that's what you do believe in. And so we need to remind them why they started Mary Kay. We need to remind them what excites them about their business. We need to remind them that we have bad weeks as well as good weeks. They know when I have a party with 0 sales, and they know when I have a party with $1,000 in sales, because I'm sharing it all. And then Cecilia James' call, which has been bouncing around too, is a call about doing a cash giveaway. And so Monique does this video. She makes this video with the Mary Kay story, and she blasts it out, and all of a sudden she's got 84 interviews on her calendar. And I'm like, what? How does that even happen? So I'm like, I'm just trying to find 15 minutes that I can make a video. So I literally okay, I'm making the video today. I have 20 minutes over here, and I have one shot to make this video. Made the video, sent it out, and we're giving away cash. So this is when we do 100 shares within January to March 31st. Now let me remind you, I had the flu the first week of January. Then I went into, which I've never had the flu before, and I'm so sorry if anybody had to struggle with that. That's terrible. And then I went to leadership, and then we had January Jumpstart. So the first 2 weeks of the month, I did nothing. And I'm hearing all of this, and I want to do it, but I can't even function half the time. And so I make this video, and I blast it out, and we did 21 interviews in the last week of January and recruited 10. Well, one of them joined the first day of February, so we had 9. Well, there you go, I gave away my number. Okay, so I made the video, put my money where my mouth was, and it's only up from here. So, oh my gosh, I still have so much time. Okay.
Can you share what the video is about? Yeah.
The video, first of all, told the Mary Kay story. And because what I keep reminding my unit is that we have the Mary Kay opportunity. We don't have the Christy Rossi opportunity, the Heidi Gelser opportunity. Heidi taught me that. And so when you tell the Mary Kay story, everybody can have success with the Mary Kay story. You know, Mary Kay started this business a month after her husband died, not knowing if the accountants were right. If you're not in that Miracles Happen Facebook page with the book club, there's a book club about Miracles Happen. It was so beautiful yesterday. So look up that Facebook page. And I'm always reminding my unit too about those books. The Mary Kay Way, or Mary Kay on People Management, and the Miracles Happen that come in their kit. That's one of their first things with training. But I tell the Mary Kay story, then I go through the facts, Mrs. Cab. I go through the facts of the business, and then I tell my story. And it's 15 minutes, okay? And all I ask them is to have a thoughtful conversation with me eye to eye afterwards. And so they can do that over video, or they can do it face to face. But I know that I have better odds when I'm with somebody, face to face. And so, but they're automatically entered if they just join without talking to me. That's okay too. I don't mind that. So we're excited with our team of teams. Everybody is naming their team of teams. And so when we're doing recognition, it's not just recognition of the Blessed Believers unit. It's the Determined Divas team of teams over here. It's Charlie's Angels teams of teams over here. And everybody has their name. And if they don't, I ask them every time, well, what's your name? You have a team. Or you're growing your team because you're sharing the opportunities. So we have to know, what's it called?
Wow.
What's your unit name?
Joy Creators.
Joy Creators, right? And isn't that powerful when you say, I want you to come with me. We're the Joy Creators. You can be part of that. You're going to be like from the ground level up. You're going to help me create that. When I recruited Julie Tussing, who was Julie Vanderwerf at the time, she was my very first team member here. I had my team name. I was the Blessed Believers. And she joined my team seeing that vision, and I was on public aid. I didn't even know what I was going to use to pay this bill, that month. But it was all, and I didn't talk about that then. I didn't talk about that till it was over, But, and I tell them, you share the Mary Kay story, and you share a story that inspires you. It doesn't necessarily have to be your story yet, right? But when she found that out, she was shocked. She was shocked because, I didn't put it out there. And so that's the video. That's the video. So what I'm on Easy Blast, and so I asked my customers if they would, I said I made this video for my unit to help them grow, and I was wondering if you would also listen to it, and within 10 minutes I had it out to 30 people.
Wow.
Wait,
So you
I'm
asked
sorry.
first.
Yeah.
No, I was just clarifying. What did you say on the Easy Blast?
Just that I had created a video for my unit to help them with their team growth, and I've had a lot of people asking me about the facts of the business, something like that.
Right.
You know, would you be willing to listen and have a thoughtful conversation with me after?
Did you give the video to your unit members?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's what they're
You told
using.
them to do
Mhm.
the same thing, so you asked permission before sending the video.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise they would not even open it.
Right.
And they think it's a scam. Even after they gave me permission to send them the video, they go, is this Christy? Because, you know, it shows that little video clip, and you get those in Facebook, and it's a scam. You don't want to open it? I say, yes, you can open it. That's me in the
So
video.
you just did like a video on your phone.
Correct. And then I uploaded it to Easy Blast, and it creates a little link. Yeah. Yes.
You mentioned the $100 drawing too, right? Do you mention that to your customers, or did you not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
It's
for
it's a
listening.
$500 drawing.
Oh, you do? Oh.
And
I
so
missed
we're
that.
giving one consultant a $250 in cash and one interviewee $250 in cash when we have 100 shares. Now, my odds so far are 1 out of 2 are joining. So if we do 100 shares, we're gonna have 50 new unit members.
Wow. Right
I'm
on.
okay with doing 500 after I've talked to 100 people face to face. That's the goal. And so that's part of the incentive, but it's also, you know, it's really built back up my confidence and the passion to share this opportunity.
Wow.
And it's gotten me to the point where I am looking at being the queen of sapphire sharing,
Right on.
like for reals. And I'm so glad you guys are in my seminar. So, any other questions?
So good.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Oh, on your feet for Christy Rossi! On your feet! Oh my goodness. Okay, come on over here. Beautiful. Wow, yeah, I know. I probably should have done this after recognition, now that I'm thinking about that, because then you would have known how fabulous her month is, but you'll know that in just a
Instead it was
second.
like, well.
Does anybody have anything, what would like to acknowledge Christy and what she shared that made a shift in you? Go ahead.
Okay, so Christy and I were in the same vortex, and although it was not a great experience overall, I see the blessings that came out of it, and you are one of them. So I would not have known you, and I would not have known Liz Varan if it weren't for that, blip.
Right.
So just don't ever talk about it again. Who cares? It also brought me to Jesus, and it brought me to you.
Kind of think that I was not in that vortex, but many of us know of what you speak. And I applaud you for still being here,
Amen.
because a lot of people made the choice to leave when that happened, because it was very, very, very painful. It was painful for those of us to watch. I also feel like today was the most authentic I've ever seen you.
Mm.
And I appreciate your willingness to be that vulnerable and real with us today.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. I already told you that. Thank you so much for sharing that. But I think from what you just said, I like that you went to Mary Kate's word.
Yeah.
Yes.
That, because we tend to, which I don't know your vortex, but we see things and we do not know, and we can get discouraged saying, I'm running the right path. And I thank God for my national, which is Cindy Fox, which is wholehearted Mary Kay words.
Right.
And that's exactly what I want to do, is go to Mary Kay words, because this is not the Jessica Rivera's opportunity. This is the Mary Kay opportunity. And oh my gosh, this has been
So
powerful.
good.
So
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you.
I know we want to keep going. You can.
Christy, I'd just like to say that you are a God's given gift to me, and not just to me, but to a lot of other people too. And what has gone on in your life has been a blessing to others, and especially to me. At this stage of my life, I'm not about to give up. I still want to do Mary Kay, and I can only do it one way, and that's the Mary Kay way, because I've been in for such a long time. And finding someone who feels about it the way I do, and who is willing to share that with me and to invite me to share your training center and all of this sort of thing with you has been such a blessing, because I was sort of at the stage where I was floundering. And so many, someone mentioned about so many people leaving, And that's exactly what had happened. So many of my associates and all that sort of stuff had given up, and I'm still hanging in there. But I needed someone to be with, because I didn't want to do it just by myself. And of course, it's like that charcoal, a heap of charcoal that's burning, and one coal leaves off and it starts going out. And I didn't want to be that charcoal that was going out, and I needed that group, and you provided that for me. Jan has also done the same thing, but Jan is just a wee bit far from me. And you are much closer, and you invited me, and that has been such a blessing. And then I had never really heard your story, and then hearing your story, it lets me see that it was definitely a God thing, that he put the two of us together, or put me with you, because our hearts in the same place and our minds in the same place. So thank you. You are such a blessing to us. I don't know why you came to Florida, but I am so glad you're here. For both of us.
Erin, I know your name.
She knows me. Well, Christy, I mean, I've admired you from the minute that I met you, and you truly do have the go-give spirit that Mary Kay asked us as directors to share. And I just thank you for sharing, being transparent, and kind of like Pamela said, maybe I'm in a different place, but I just feel today that you were just so authentic and genuine and have grown so much. I don't mean that like in a condescending way, like I admire you so much. But I don't know, just sharing your tips of how you're being successful. Today, I think, is probably the first day, because I would listen to you and get intimidated in the past and just kind of shut down and be like, oh, I can't do that. And then today, and today is the first day that I really believe that I can do it too. So thank you for being who you are.
There was, thank you for that. There was something that I left out too, because I really take pride in Central Florida. In Florida altogether, we're not all from Central Florida. And I believe in this group of people and directors, and I see us growing and I see us loving one another. And so I want each of you to believe in your strengths and to believe in your success, and know that I love you, and we will put Central Florida on the map. Like, they're gonna look and go, what is going on over there? Because we are so plugged in with the legacy of what Mary Kay Ash wanted. We need to step up to be national sales directors, because they're all going away. Like, 80% of the company being Mary Kay National Area is not okay.
Right, amen.
And so we need to take this feeling and just rise up together and stay in our lanes, but cheer each other on. Yeah. And I love you. You really did move to Deltona for me. I don't care what Liz says. You're here for me.
Christy Rossi, just to see how you take everything, like, God works everything for the good of those who love him. And he used those quote unquote bad experiences to solidify you in this Mary Kay culture, and to make you a fighter for her values and for her beliefs, and to be such a leader for everyone around you. He has grown you, but in the process, you've been an influencer who has chosen to grow other people. I am humbled and honored to call you friend. Okay, give Chrissy one more round of applause. And she takes her seat. Oh my goodness, seriously. Okay, so we do have recognition at this meeting if anybody cares about that. And I know that you do, because it's fun.